All right, so this is some of my documentation over the course of the last 2 years. In April of 2024, I got visited by somebody claiming to be a special agent from the United States government who wanted to question me about comments that they presumed that I made on social media. I told her the truth that I do not recall. Soon after that visit, I began to experience what has been dubbed as Havana syndrome. However, it has had other remote neuroscience involved in it, things such as remote manipulation of my nervous system, thoughts placed in my head, vivid dreams, just to name a few. It is absolutely remote MKUltra, and most of the documentation, while it's not in its entirety because it's absolutely impossible to document every waking moment of my life, this is, a small example, but not in its entirety. Some things I haven't documented, like what I've experienced before I decided to start writing. But I do wish to get this out. There is a lot of aspects of what I have experienced that I refuse to write down, but I have no problem elaborating on that in a safe environment. So I'm just going to quickly go through the pages. You can pause them and read them. The second book that I have is the most recent. It has gotten progressively worse. What I've been experiencing has gotten progressively worse within the last few months, and they have been basically threatening my life. Threatening to kidnap me is what I'll say. So, and they have made mentions that they are from the CIA. However, I do believe it is the Department of War, but they have also mentioned private corporations as well, like Palantir. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through this. Here's a note that I made. We're just going to quickly scroll through this. You can pause it and read it, but I just wish to get this out, as well as in the hands of as many law enforcement members from the government as possible. I have no symptoms that I was aware of prior to 2024, but looking back, I can see where this technology has been used on me for decades. I have had people, what I dub as asset surveillance, following me around, tampering with my vehicle on several occasions. At the moment, my clutch to my vehicle is out after replacing the master and slave cylinder. It was running perfectly, and then the next day, it was no longer working. So the problem got resolved, and then the problem came back immediately. I do not know if there is another group of people within the government who are watching me and purposely breaking my vehicle in order to keep me out of public due to the nature of what it is that I'm experiencing. I do believe at some points they were purposely trying to just destroy my finances, deplete me of my resources, and I just believe that there are other individuals trying to keep me pinned down and keep me out of public. They do make comments that there are multiple individuals engaged in whatever it is that I'm experiencing. However, they are not moving quick enough to my liking. So again, sorry for the poor lighting. I'm in my garage. It should still be legible on a computer. I do have intentions. I have emailed over 100 people from the Department of Justice. I have sent in multiple requests for help. I do know that this isn't a matter that just a random lawyer can handle. I do believe that it is the Department of War who has me in some sort of program at this very time. They made mentions that they were going to, at first they pitched this as a behavioral study, or like a new form of probation, due to this supposed comments that I made that I still to this day don't recall making. They did mention that they were going to send me in to other companies and test their hearts, i.e. People who are researching this technology. I'm not sure. They recently said that their hands were tied. I don't know what that means, but a large aspect of it is MKUltra. They have tortured me so severe and forced me to go to sleep, and I do believe at that time they're doing like hypnosis, like creating altars that they do act, they do things with. On several occasions, I don't like mentioning this because the majority of the people that followed me on the street have been, people from the military. You can tell because they were wearing like Bates boots, and based on their build, some of them had even made mention that they worked for the DOD. One of the gentlemen went by Brian. Gentleman Kyle Delaney, who came into my life, and he 100% was involved with this. There is another gentleman in Alexandria who is also was engaged in some of my, I don't know what to call it, but psyops, basically. He lives in Alexandria. They said they don't want him involved because he's got a family, but so do I. So honestly, due to the severity of what happened to me, I honestly just want out of the program safely. And that is my primary objective here, is just to get released from the program. I don't think it's a program. I think it's something entirely different. I do want to make note that, actually I'm not even going to bring that up. It is in some of this documentation. I just don't know who to turn to, and as of late they're saying that they're going to deplete my resources and use this technology to divide my family, and then get me removed from the house, where they are saying that they're going to pick me up. They are saying that it's to get me out in a way that can convince Palantir to stop watching me. I don't know how truthful that is, because the operators on the other line, they do lie all the time. So I'm sorry about the lighting, but I do believe it's still legible. I intend on scanning these documents and then uploading them to as many places on the internet as possible. I do know for a fact that Havana syndrome is something that people in the DMV region, which is where I'm at, just outside of DC, experience. Is primarily, diplomats and agents for the CIA. And I know they don't admit that this technology exists, but I think it's time for the truth to come out. I don't believe that I'm special or anything. It should be mine, but this is basically what I'm going through every single day, and this doesn't even do it justice. This doesn't even do it justice. I am very careful at what I write, simply because I do know that they use things against you. So again, I am able to elaborate in person in a safe environment on just exactly what it is I have gone through over the course of these 2 years and decades. They made mentions that I hate to say this, they said that they were going to use me to expose this stuff, but now they're saying that I know too much and they have to get rid of me because I made mentions of other acts of terrorism that this technology has been used to commit. And I also have found crimes such as this twin. This was the most recent. So that was the most recent. This is when I started documenting. So we'll flip through this real quick. Again, I'm gonna do this fast. Anybody cares, you can pause and read them. I have experienced nervous system damage. They have targeted my hippocampus region of my brain, and it has caused me to have twitching of my hands when I fully extend, which is a symptom that I did not have before. Again, I'm just going to flip through these simply for documentation purposes, and then I'm going to mail this out to as many law enforcement as possible. The problem with what I'm experiencing is you're like mentally foggy, so it's extremely difficult to concentrate. I'm not capable of doing a whole lot. I can talk, I can explain what I'm experiencing. I do remember just about everything for the most part. I am being, I hate saying it because it sounds crazy, but what people call V2K, and there are multiple operators bombarding my mind 24/7, literally 24/7, even when I'm sleeping. I apologize for the lighting. It doesn't look like that in front of my eyes. It's just this camera, but I do believe it's still legible, which is the important thing here, and I'll do my best to get a better copy out. I had another channel called Targeted Ones. They forced me to delete it within the last week. And I didn't have a problem doing it because they were threatening me, so I took it down, but that was where a lot of evidence was. I do believe that there was comments made by individuals that have me in their custody, so to speak. I have, demanded to know where I'm at so I can file, get rid of habeas corpus and things like that in order to resolve this matter in an honorable fashion, but they're refusing to allow that to happen, and they continually say that they want me to act whack, i.e. commit a crime, which I just refuse to do. And they say that I have to go to jail in order for it to stop, and there's no way out until I do that, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to fight, but I do have concerns with my health. I've been beamed with what I believe to be millimeter waves that are causing the pain, as well as reading my bio data to include my thoughts, i.e. like what I'm thinking, if anybody's wondering. I don't want to go into the science with that, but I do believe it. I mean, I know it's possible. Basically, reading your bio data. So. Some of the more scary things that I've experienced, I haven't wrote down, by the way. I mean, I know I said I haven't written everything down in its entirety, but and they are capable of speaking through you, is all I'm going to say. So they even said that they were going to frame me for crimes in order to get rid of me. I have growing concerns for a lot of things. Yeah, I would like to elaborate on more of the things that happened to me prior to the overt targeting after 2024. I do believe any kind of profile that is built on me was based off of utilizing this technology, as well as they have hacked my devices as well. So that's all I got to say. God bless.